man. I'm going with Crawford. Yeah, he's strong. This is his moment. I'm going with Crawford by knockout.
By knockout?
Yeah, I'm betting too. And I don't even bet. I'm not even a gambling man.
A lot of people are counting Crawford out. Crawford's he's smart. He knows what he's doing. Canelo, you know, I mean, he's not that big of a guy. He obviously weighs more, but I mean, you can't take nothing from Crawford. He goes in there to win. So I mean,
it could give Canelo a real problem now. I think early on you could see, he's a mover and he's obviously a very good boxer. I think to start with, when he's thrown his jab, it was falling short. They weren't emphatic punches, and I think as it slowed down, it was then connecting. You know, he was catching him. It makes that Crawford fight, I think, more an intriguing fight. You know, I always say a good big and beat a good little one, and he's got to give a lot of weight away, Crawford, but it could give Canelo a real problem.
The boxing world is firing back at critics questioning Terence Crawford's size ahead of his clash with Canelo Alvarez, insisting that despite the size gap, Crawford has what it takes to come out on top. On the other hand, Roy Jones Jr. believes that a possible matchup between Canelo and Crawford wouldn't be decided by weight alone. He emphasized that Canelo's approach in the ring would be a major factor. According to Jones, if Canelo uses his advantages wisely and sticks to a sharp strategy, he stands a solid shot at victory. But if he slips up or fights without discipline, Crawford could seize those moments and turn the tide in his favor.
Well, the weight won't be the factor. The factor will be how Canelo chooses to make the fight. If Canelo comes out and does what Canelo should do, Canelo wins the fight. If Canelo comes out and does what he shouldn't do, Crawford wins the fight.
Jaron Boots Ennis is also leaning toward Canelo Alvarez in a potential showdown, noting that Canelo has taken down larger foes, even though 168 isn't his natural weight class. Ennis pointed out that some of Canelo's opponents probably hit close to 200 pounds by fight night, yet he still handles them with ease. He sees the matchup as a thrilling event fans are craving. Ennis also recommended that Terence Crawford take a warm-up bout at 160 pounds first, to get used to the size difference, build strength, and maintain sharpness without a lengthy layoff.
But I think you gotta lean more towards Canelo, because like I said before, he been pitting big guys out and down, and Canelo not even really a 68 pounder. He probably really should be at 60 maybe, and he been hurting these guys. I think he be dropping these guys and things like that. So, and them guys be way bigger than him come fight night. I know that for sure. They be probably close to 200 pounds, and he dropping those guys like that. So I don't know. You know, it's gonna be a great fight. You know, the fans want to see it. So, you know, so be it. I think Crawford should take a warm-up fight. You know, at like 60, or like at least at 60, just to get his body, you know, to fill into somebody a little bit bigger. You know, and things like that. You know, I know when you go up a weight, you gotta, you know, develop that power and not develop the power, but like put that muscle on and be heavier and things like that. So he might not want to take a fight because he's trying to build up right now. But I think he should, just to stay sharp and that way he don't have like a long layoff or anything like that.
However, Shannon Briggs strongly backed Terence Crawford in a possible fight against Canelo Alvarez, saying he believes Crawford would win without a doubt. He said Crawford all day and even predicted a knockout. Although Briggs usually does not bet, he said this time he would because he feels that confident. He repeated several times that Crawford would stop Canelo and end the fight with a knockout.
Crawford all day. Crawford all day. He might stop him. I'm gonna bet, and I don't even bet. My son be doing all the betting. I don't do too much betting, but I'm gonna tell you, Crawford gonna stop him. Stoppage. I'm telling you, stoppage. I'm telling you, I'm sticking with that. He gonna stop him. Knockout. You're gonna say, oh man, come on.
Kermel Moton also said he does not have an official pick, but is supporting Crawford. He said Crawford has more tools and can adapt in the ring, whether it's moving on his feet or fighting up close. While giving respect to Canelo as a great fighter, Moton described him as more limited in style, mainly using pressure, slick head movement, and counter-punching. He believes Crawford's speed and versatility could allow him to outbox Canelo.
Canelo versus Terence Crawford. Who you got, champ?
I don't have a pick. I feel like I'm a root for Crawford, and I just feel like Crawford is more multi-dimensional. He can do more things in the ring. You know, he can get on his toes if he really needs to, and then he can also bang in the pocket, obviously. And I feel like Canelo's a great, but I feel like he's more one-dimensional. He's just gonna put that pressure you know, slick head movement, try to come with them counters. But I just feel like Crawford gonna have the speed advantage, and he gonna probably just outbox Canelo. But I don't have no pick right now, but I'm rooting for Crawford.
Moreover, Jose Benavidez Jr. firmly supported Terence Crawford in a possible showdown with Canelo Alvarez, stating that a lot of people are counting Crawford out, even though Canelo has the size advantage. He pointed out Crawford's sharp ring IQ and tactical approach, confident that Crawford's smart thinking would give him the edge in the contest.
A lot of people are counting Crawford out. Crawford's he's smart, he knows what he's doing. Canelo, you know, I mean, he's not that big of a guy. He obviously weighs more, but I mean, you can't take nothing from Crawford. He goes in there to win. So I mean, I feel like it'd be a good fight. You know, it sucks that my brother didn't get the opportunity, but I mean, only Canelo knows why it didn't happen. And you just gotta keep moving forward. You know, gotta keep moving forward. But it's gonna be a good fight to watch. I got Crawford on this.
Benavidez Jr. also complimented Crawford's skill in switching stances, which adds to his adaptability during fights. He noted that although Canelo usually carries a mental advantage over most challengers, Crawford would bring a different approach, believing his game plan would give him the upper hand.
The thing with him, he adjusts. He's a smart motherfucker. He adjusts. He's not only does he switch from, you know, from southpaw to orthodox, but he's just a smart. He has a high IQ in boxing, you know. And that's what I feel like all these fighters that go in there to fight Canelo, they already go in there scared, is what I believe, you know, that which already beats him, you know. So Crawford's gonna go in there to fuck, not gonna go in there to fuck you. So I mean, I have it going Crawford, bro, to be honest with you.
Buzzy Ennis expressed confidence that Terence Crawford has a solid chance to defeat Canelo Alvarez. He praised Crawford's boxing skills, movement, and punching power, saying Crawford won't fight like William Skell, but will actively take the fight to Canelo. Ennis highlighted that Crawford's tough background has prepared him to handle difficult situations. He also mentioned that Crawford could frustrate Canelo during the fight.
I think, like I said, Terence got a great chance to beat him, man. You know what I mean? Terence can box, Terence can move, Terence can punch. You know what I mean? Terence ain't gonna be doing like Skull. Terence gonna fight you. You know what I mean? He's Terence from the streets, man. You know what I mean? He know what to do. You know what I mean? When it comes down to it. And I think he's gonna wind up frustrating Canelo. You know what I mean?
Buzzy Ennis went on to say that he even thinks Crawford might stop Canelo. While he respects Canelo's strong chin, Ennis pointed out that Canelo has never faced a puncher like Crawford, who delivers precise shots. He emphasized Crawford's ability to attack the body, something many fighters, including big hitters like Gennady Golovkin, have avoided against Canelo. Ennis explained that Crawford's smart body punches could make Canelo lower his guard, giving Crawford a chance to score a knockout.
I think Terence going do what he do, man. I think Terence might stop him. He might stop him, man. I ain't gonna hold you, man.
Canelo Alvarez got one of the best chins.
Yeah, but hey, listen, he ain't been hit by Terence though. Terence can punch, man. You know what I mean? I know he's been in with some of the great punches and all that, but them punches gotta be placed right. You know what I mean? And Terence placed them punches, man. Them body shots, man. I don't see too many people go to Canelo body. Have you seen that?
Not really.
Not too many people.
Even Triple G, who's a good body puncher.
Yeah, but
everything was up top.
Everybody, and he got a hard head, man. So I will go to the body, go to the head, and go back down to the body. And then once you just keep on going to that body, he's gonna drop his hands. Once he drop his hands, good night.
Tim Tszyu said the fight is exciting because of Crawford's quick thinking inside the ring. He noted how smart and tactical Crawford is when he fights, comparing his style to how Mayweather outsmarted Canelo. Tszyu believes Crawford has the intelligence to achieve a similar victory.
It's a good fight because Crawford's very smart. We saw what Floyd did to Canelo, so Crawford's got the IQ to do that.
But Danny Garcia believes Canelo Alvarez is nearly unbeatable at 168 pounds. He says this weight class suits Canelo perfectly and notes that Canelo has already defeated all the top fighters in the division. Garcia sees Canelo as having a clear advantage in both size and strength. If a fight with Terence Crawford happened at that weight right now, Garcia would still pick Canelo despite Crawford's skills. In his view, the only fighter who might really challenge Canelo at 168 is David Benavidez. Other than Benavidez, Garcia does not think anyone else can do it.
At 168, I just can't see nobody beating Canelo at that weight. That's his weight. You know, he beat everybody at that weight. Like, that's his weight. Like, that's perfect weight for Canelo. So, Canelo faced probably better competition. He's gonna be the bigger guy, stronger. So if they fought each other right now at 168, you know, Crawford got the skills, but I'll probably go with Canelo, cause I really can't see. Oh, besides Benavidez, that's probably the only guy that could probably beat Canelo at 168. But I can't see nobody else beating Canelo at 168. That's his weight.
Oscar De La Hoya also does not believe Terence Crawford could beat Canelo Alvarez. He points to Canelo's power and natural size advantage as key factors. While Crawford may try to use smart tactics and set traps, De La Hoya thinks the weight gap would be a big problem. He even says Canelo might rehydrate to nearly 200 pounds for the fight, making him even tougher. Although De La Hoya respects Crawford's skill, he says if Crawford pulls off a win, it would be such a huge achievement that people would see him as a legend in boxing.
Let's just say Canelo Crawford, in the history of boxing, and this is the facts.
Let's get it.
If you see Thursdays, Fact Thursdays, I speak the facts. All right, I'll even do it for you. A good little man has never beaten a good big man in the history of the game, unless you go back to certain situations with Pacquiao beat me, but I was a dead man walking anyway.
Sam Jones, a firm fan of Terence Crawford, thinks Crawford will have a tough time against Canelo Alvarez because of the size difference. Although he respects Crawford's skills, Jones believes Canelo's power and strong physique will overwhelm him. He described Canelo as a powerful, muscular fighter who may not be very tall but is incredibly strong. Jones said that Canelo's physical strength would play a major role in the fight, making it very hard for Crawford to win.
I prefer Crawford. Listen, I'm a big Terence Crawford fan, right? I love Terence Crawford, huge Crawford fan. I just think in this fight, he's just going to be too small in this fight. Canelo is massive. Like he's a unit. He's not tall in stature, but if you've been around Canelo, he's just a lump, isn't he, Canelo? He's a right lump, and I just think Canelo would be too big for him.
We haven't had a chance
to see Crawford win.
However, Kevin Cunningham still believes Terence Crawford has the skill and intelligence to defeat Canelo Alvarez. Though he knows it won't be easy, he acknowledges Canelo as one of the greatest fighters ever, but sees Crawford as a special talent who can adjust and compete even when moving up in weight.
But can Terence Crawford pull this off?
He definitely can. He has the ability to pull it off for sure. Now, it's going to be a tough task. You're talking about Canelo Alvarez, one of the greatest fighters ever. So I think Terence is special, you know, and it takes a special fighter to move up multiple weight classes and still dominate. And I think Terence Crawford has the ability, not to say he'll dominate Canelo Alvarez, but I think he's special enough to where he can find a way to expose Canelo's flaws and pull it off. I just think he's a special enough fighter, and he's gifted enough, and he's smart enough to win a boxing match with Canelo Alvarez.
Cunningham also explained that Crawford won't depend only on his technical skills, but will bring aggression to demand respect from Canelo. He expects Crawford to use a smart mix of skill and toughness in the fight. Cunningham is confident that Crawford has everything it takes to win and strongly believes Crawford can come out on top.
I think what you'll see with Terence is a boxer, but he's also going to try to beat up. He's going to get the respect of Canelo Alvarez. Yeah, he's going to box, but he's going to get his respect too, and he's going to be smart about it, you know. So I think he can. I really think Terence can pull this off.
Shakur Stevenson expressed his confidence that Terence "Bud" Crawford will beat Canelo Alvarez. He recognized Canelo's talent and achievements, but said Crawford has all the skills needed to win. When asked about the weight difference, Stevenson said it is often overstated. He noted that while fighters like David Benavidez are genuinely big, Canelo is not much taller or clearly bigger than Crawford. Shakur also talked about a conversation with Bozy Ennis, where they agreed that if Canelo underestimates Crawford or makes mistakes, Crawford has a real chance to stop him.
I think Bud gonna cook Canelo. I think he's gonna cook him. I think, Canelo a hell of a fighter, but I think Bud just got all the tools to beat him.
You don't think the weight difference is gonna be too big of an advantage?
I think y'all make that something, you know. In certain fights,
Boxing makes it something, not us.
like if this was like a Benavidez, he's actually a lot bigger than Bud, so that would like apply. But I feel like with Canelo, he's like physically kind of big, but like height wise, he's kind of small. So I don't think so, no.
Corey, how you got a decision to stop this? Because Breadman and Boozy think that Bud actually might stop him.
Me and Boozy talked about that. That's crazy. Me and him got on the phone and talked about it, but I think that's possible. Like, I'm not saying that it's going to happen, but I think it's a possibility if Canelo gets to acting out of line and not understanding that Bud could crack too.
On the other hand, Joe Diaz strongly believes that Terence Crawford has little chance of defeating Canelo Alvarez, even though Crawford is his favorite fighter and, in his view, the best pound-for-pound boxer. He stressed that moving up from 147 to 168 pounds is a massive jump, and while Crawford may look sharp at first, the size and power difference will eventually dominate. Diaz pointed out that Canelo has taken clean shots from hard hitters like Gennady Golovkin without serious damage, and if Canelo lands solid punches on Crawford, it could be very harmful.
I mean, there is no way that Terence Crawford, being to me my favorite fighter, I mean, the best fighter pound for pound, can beat Canelo. I mean, a 147 pounder moving up to 68, I mean, he can only maybe go 2-3 rounds, good 2-3 rounds, and then Canelo hits him and he hurts him. Canelo's being hit by Triple G, the hardest hitter in the division, and never hurt him. But Canelo will hit Crawford and he'll hurt him.
Diaz compared this to Demetrius Andrade's fight against David Benavidez, where Andrade started strong but quickly faded because of the physical disadvantage. He thinks Crawford would likely face the same issue despite his high skill. Once the size difference becomes clear, Diaz believes the fight will change completely. For him, this matchup feels more like a money move than a true test, with the main goal being a big payday for Crawford rather than a fair fight.
You remember the fight Benavidez and Demetrius Andrade? Yes. Demetrius Andrade was a great fighter. Nobody wanted to fight him at 54. He moved to 60, fight 1 or 2. Nobody wanted to fight him at 60. So what did he do? He moved up to 68 because there was nothing for him to fight Benavidez, a big fighter like that. I mean, look what he did in the first early round. Demetrius Andrade was in control. He was doing great. But once that weight starts kicking in, it takes over. There is no way that Crawford can beat Canelo. I mean, Turkey out the cheek. It's a big fan of Terence Crawford. He wants to give him a good payday, and simple as that. That's all it is, man.
Robert Garcia shared his respect for Terence Crawford, but believes Canelo Alvarez is more likely to win. Although Garcia isn't close friends with Canelo, he knows him well enough to exchange greetings if they meet. He has spent more time with Crawford and watched his progress with Top Rank. Garcia remembered that when Top Rank was deciding whether to sign Crawford, both he and Mikey Garcia praised Crawford as an outstanding fighter. Despite his connection to Crawford, Garcia still thinks Canelo will win, but admits Crawford definitely has a chance.
I see Canelo winning, and I'm not, you know, I don't know Canelo very well. I'll say hi to him if I see him. He'll say hi to me too, but we're not friends. You know, I could probably say I spend more time with Crawford, so I would love to see Crawford pull it off. I would be more happy to see Crawford win, you know, because I know him better. I know him. I see him develop in Top Rank. Top Rank actually were asking for our opinion before they signed him.
What'd you say?
What do you guys think? Like, me, Mikey said he's a great fighter. You know, sign him. He's a great ass fighter. So you know, I know him better. I would love to see him pull it off, and he could. But I still see, I don't know, I see Canelo winning.
Garcia also spoke about how important it would be if Crawford beat Canelo, saying such a victory would place Crawford among the top 3 or at least the top 5 greatest fighters ever. He called the win huge and unbelievable, highlighting how remarkable it would be for Crawford to become undisputed champion in 3 different weight divisions.
Bud says if he beats Canelo, he's in the top 3 GOATs, greatest of all time.
It's definitely. I think he maybe top 5, but he will be up there.
How huge is that win?
It's huge, man. It's huge, very huge, very huge. That would be unbelievable, man. You know, that would be awesome. That would be a 3 undisputed in three divisions.
Greg Hackett said that although he can't be certain what Terence "Bud" Crawford might or might not do, he does not see Crawford knocking out Canelo Alvarez. He mentioned that if Crawford thinks he can achieve it, that is his decision. Hackett gave a slight edge to Canelo in the matchup, noting that moving up to 168 pounds could cause Crawford to be more cautious. He suggested that even with Crawford's speed and strength, Canelo's power at that weight weight might make Crawford more careful and less aggressive with his punches.
I mean, I can't say what a man can't do. You know what I mean? But do I see that happening?
Yeah.
No, I don't see it happening. But if he believe it, hey, I mean, I want to see.
Who would you favor in that fight? You like Bud by decision?
Slight edge to Canelo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Bud. I'm a fan of Bud. I think Bud is a great fighter, but I just think 68 is gonna make him a little bit hesitant. He gonna feel good. He gonna be strong. He gonna have some good speed, but I think he's just gonna be a little bit hesitant. He won't pull the trigger right away.
So what are your thoughts on this? What do you think about their fight? We would love to hear your thoughts. So share your thoughts in the comment section, and also make sure to subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video. Also check out our other videos on the screen right now.